product of Ireland's straight glass gym, the 9-2 Conor McGregor has a habit of making short work of his opponents. After picking up knockouts in just 4:16 seconds earlier this year, he wants to continue his streak at that rate as he faces top Norwegian Jahnsen.
Well, I've been preparing for my previous part, so I don't really know much about the same concepts. I really don't know wherever it goes.
Tonight, we'll be looking to avenge his last cage warrior's outing when he came up short against one of the UK's top lightweights, buildup.
Usually, it's definitely the big one at the level. That's my aim for this one. I signed the 5-fight contract for cage warriors, and I'm looking to get that heavyweight strap around the race.
The Norwegian Jahnsen was patiently waiting for a connecting flight in Istanbul to former teammate Jahnsen when he learned that Nicholas Backstrom was injured on his way to the airport. Jahnsen wasted no time accepting the fight and the chance to be part of cage warriors.
10 days ago in Belfast, I was fighting a 4-man lightweight European title. Hopefully the cut won't affect me much at all. We'll see. I'm just going for it.
His 2-1 professional record is backed up with a solid grounding in the Scandinavian amateur circuit. And this team-held by Gladiator will be seeking to show his grappling has what it takes to derail knockout artist Conor McGregor.
Yeah, I feel confident. I feel relaxed, I feel calm, fun with the function, and just let them know.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. 3 5-minute rounds is scheduled in the lightweight division. Entering the cage first, fighting out of the blue corner. From Dublin, Ireland, here is Conor McGregor.
Yeah, I think he'll be quite happy. He's originally working his way to touch on featherweight in this fight. Obviously, began to set up at straight notice, short notice, and they up to a lightweight bout here tonight. So that's one of the issues Conor McGregor
stepping into the cage.
And his opponent fighting out of the red corner, making his way to the cage from Oslo, Norway, here is Jahnsen.
Yeah, let's see if it'll affect him. I mean, it was a pretty emotional time for him coming to the cage just then. He's fighting on behalf of the innocent victims in Oslo, so he's Yeah, he's really taken this to heart, and he's looking to put on a fabulous performance for us here at the Cage Warriors.
Yeah, Jahnsen's a really game fighter. I've judged his fights in the past. Very good grappler. It's going to be interesting to see how he can deal with the incredibly aggressive striking of Conor McGregor. But the ground game is probably where Jahnsen is going to look to take this.
He's noticeably taller, but I don't for 1 minute think that he's going to try and stand with Conor.
Yeah, there's possibly a certain amount of experience difference as well. Aaron Jahnsen having a record of 2-1. Conor McGregor, 10 fights. So.
But he has worked his way up from the Scandinavian amateur circuit, so he's cut his teeth. He knows the deal.
Yeah, certainly right, John. He's obviously training out of Team Hellboy Hansen as well. They're going to be very well versed in pretty much all aspects of mixed martial arts. And I know for a fact he's travelled with a lot of his teammates to some very big events, so I don't expect the stage to face him in the slightest there.
The crowd on side this evening as we're ready to get this one underway. Let's go over to Joe for the announcements.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the new boxing arena in Louisiana, USA here in the capital city of Amman, Jordan. A very good evening and welcome fight fans to Cage Warriors Fight Night 2. Tonight, CWFC gives you a full night of professional mixed martial arts for your enjoyment. Brought to you by Amwaj International, Al Hamad Construction, Kia Motors, Spin Jordan, and Ayam. Our first attraction tonight, 3 rounds scheduled in the lightweight division. This bout is brought to you by Al Gawad Newspaper. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner, a stand-up fighter sitting 5 feet 9 inches tall. Official weight, 155 1/2 pounds. As a professional, his record stands 8 victories and just 2 defeats. He hails from Dublin, Ireland. Here is notorious Conor McGregor! And next to the opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist, sitting 5 feet 11 inches tall. His weight, 154 1/2 pounds. As a professional, his record, 2 victories and 1 defeat. Hailing from Oslo, Norway, he is the Iron Fist, Jahnsen! Referee in charge of the action, Neil Hall.
So our referee for this one, Neil Hall, and a very pensive-looking Jahnsen in the red corner, Josh.
Oh, incredibly stern look on his face. If anyone told him Conor McGregor has a habit of finishing quickly, I don't think anyone told him.
Don't blink for this one, ladies and gentlemen.
Ooh, interesting gamesmanship from Conor McGregor in the opening stanza there.
Southpaw Conor McGregor wearing the wrestling shorts. Aaron Jahnsen from Norway wearing the black trunks.
A good display of kicks from Aaron Jahnsen, trying to keep the range on Conor McGregor, let him stop him closing the distance quickly. But he is fast when he comes in with those hands, isn't he, John?
Yeah, absolutely. And Conor's looking very relaxed. His shoulders are nice and relaxed. He's a boxing coach at SBG.
A lovely scramble forward from Aaron Jahnsen. Big pickup on single leg and fantastic balance from Conor McGregor, keeping himself on the feet.
And strength in legs as well, actually. He really sort of propelled himself. We're seeing now that he's pressing Jahnsen up against the cage. Jahnsen looking perhaps to try and sneak his left arm through under the neck of McGregor.
Yeah, possible head and arm guillotine, but it's going to be very difficult to finish. You can already see Conor McGregor maintaining his posture, getting his head up, and he's got a good solid grip with that right hand on the left wrist of Aaron Jahnsen.
Here you go, head up, head back out, underneath the chin with your head. If you bounce, you would double under there.
Trying to soften Jahnsen with some knees as he pops his head out.
This is an uncharacteristically slow start for Conor McGregor, isn't it, John?
Yes, Neil Hall actually calling for a little bit more action, which I'm quite sure that McGregor's never heard before.
Good head position from the Irishman, trying to get up under the chin of Aaron Jahnsen, really control his posture, force him into the cage and up onto his toes. That combined with the foot stop. Oh, but Neil Hall calling for a break in the action.
Everybody will be happy for that. Oh, nice head kick from Jahnsen.
Yeah, McGregor felt that through his gloves, and it seems to have injected a little bit of life into him.
And another attempt as well. And I think that McGregor might have hit Jahnsen as he shot in.
Yeah, he's ended up in a pretty offensive half guard, has the Irishman on the top. He's got good control of the head, giving up the underhook on the side though.
And this is where having a corner like John Kavanagh really comes into play. John Kavanagh of SBJ, a real pioneer of mixed martial arts in Ireland.
Yeah, I was speaking to a few renowned figures in the last couple of days, and they said, you know what, Greg Jackson in the US, John Kavanagh in Europe.
I'm sure he'll be very proud to hear you say that.
Left elbow to the leg.
And it's nice posture for striking from Conor McGregor, really throwing the legs to the side, landing a nice big shot.
He's trying to hurt Jahnsen with some shots, and I think he's having some success with those, Josh.
Yeah, Jahnsen forced to scramble forward, but he's left himself open for a pretty nasty crossface from Conor McGregor.
Loads of time, Conor. Loads of time.
I'm being told that he's got lots of time and he's picking his shots wisely. Jahnsen just covering at the moment.
Oh, lovely left knee to the rib. He was sitting in that side wedge position, but now just pinning the head and landing big strikes from Conor McGregor. Jahnsen's going to have to do something here.
And that's it. Neil Hall has called a halt to this. Jahnsen was not intelligently defending himself, and Conor McGregor wins by ground and pound and asks for a reaction from the crowd, which he gets.
Yeah, good display from the Irishman, a slightly more measured approach than usual, but getting the job done once again with some vicious hands.
Absolutely, still putting to use that excellent power that he has in both his left and his right. The southpaw fighter representing SBG and Ireland. Conor McGregor really does like this big stage. A convincing win over Aaron Jahnsen. I'm going to make it official. Hand over to Joe in the cage.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes in 3 minutes, 29 seconds of round number 1. Referee Neil Hall calls a halt to the bout for your winner by TKO victory from Dublin, Ireland, notorious Conor McGregor!
Knockout artist Conor Notorious McGregor will look to take his KO tally into double figures as he aims to earn himself a shot at the featherweight title. Fighting mostly at lightweight, the SBG representative has developed a fearsome reputation. His opponent, however, will take comfort in McGregor's 2 submission losses as he will try to implement his strengths on the ground. With his personal affairs in great shape, Notorious McGregor's confidence is at an all-time high. After 2 impressive displays at Cage Warriors, Steve the Spartan O'Keefe has secured his spot on the Cage Warriors poster. The Combat Sports Academy student will be looking to take another notable win over SBG opposition after submitting Artem Lobov at Cage Warriors 43 and Dean Riley at Cage Warriors 44.
I don't particularly do training camps. I don't do 12-week camps, whatever. I pretty much train all the time and just up it coming into the fight.
Currently running a 6-fight win streak with 5 submission victories, O'Keefe believes he has the tools to pass McGregor and make the more convincing case for a featherweight title shot.
My game plan is not to get hit. And I don't want to get hit by Conor. Conor hits hard, so I want to avoid that at all costs.
Ready for whatever, O'Keefe has found it difficult to curb his excitement ahead of this scintillating featherweight encounter.
I cannot wait for tomorrow. It's a win that I need to win. I want to win the Cage Warriors featherweight title.
And here we go, ladies and gentlemen, our next attraction. 3 rounds, featherweights, Ireland versus England. Making his way to the cage first and fighting out of the blue corner. From Ireland, here is Conor McGregor.
Welcome back to Conor Notorious McGregor representing SBG. He is 9-2. Unfortunately, we couldn't get an interview with him yesterday due to the heavy weight cut. He was flown out on the morning of the weigh-in and took 3 attempts to make weight, but this guy is explosive, Josh. He will definitely make up for it.
That's an understatement, John. At featherweight, the power this guy is going to be able to generate is insane. I was having a chat to a couple of his teammates yesterday, and they said this guy hits like a middleweight. And you know, when you can bring that kind of intensity and power at featherweight, it's a lot for anyone to handle.
Yeah, he's been working with a lot of welterweights for this. Gunnar Nelson, Carl Hendred, Arnie Isaacson, Philip Maltz, but that gym, SBG, has got a whole host of talent.
Yeah, fantastic gym out there in Dublin. Of course, head coach John Kavanagh. I think the thing to note about Conor McGregor is just this guy loves to fight, and he's got that finishing instinct that's so important.
He's just recently achieved a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Doesn't really train in the gi enough to push on. Apparently he's probably purple belt level for no gi. He looks noticeably bigger than what O'Keefe did at the weigh-ins.
And next, his opponent making his way to the cage, fighting out of the red corner, England's own Steve O'Keefe.
And the very popular Steve the Spartan O'Keefe is on his way down the ramp. He's representing Combat Sports Academy and has a record of 6 wins and 1 loss. This is a striker grappler contest, but McGregor is a purple belt in the no-gi jiu-jitsu, which could be quite interesting to see how Steve put together a game plan.
Yes, although we can bill this as a striker grappler matchup, Steve O'Keefe does have an extensive background in some traditional martial arts like Taekwondo. He's got a very varied striking game, and he thinks his key to victory, as with a lot of his fights, is going to be his strength and conditioning routine. He believes his athleticism and just his mentality as a professional athlete is going to be the difference here tonight.
I caught up with him in the warm-up area, and he's looking for a quick finish. He wants an easy night's work, take his purse and go home. I don't blame him, Josh. I mean, the longer you're in there with someone as dangerous as McGregor, the more ability there is to get hit and knocked out.
Yeah, both guys really do have a fighter's heart. They come to really put on a show and take it to their opponents. Both of them waste no time in getting the finishes when they can. But as you say, a very good ground game from Steve O'Keefe, recently competing at the European Championships, and that's probably what he's going to have to use against a knockout artist like McGregor.
And now, fight fans, here we go. 3 rounds, featherweight action inside the cage. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist standing 5 feet 8 inches tall. His weight 145 3/4 pounds, and he brings an outstanding record into the cage. 9 victories and just 2 defeats. He fights out of and represents Dublin, Ireland. Here is notorious Conor McGregor. And next, his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. Also a mixed martial artist, he stands 5 feet 7 inches tall. Official weight, 145 pounds. As a young professional, his record stands 6 victories and just 1 defeat. Fighting out of Kent, England, here is the Spartan, Steve O'Keefe. Referee in charge, Mark Conor.
So the Spartan looking to continue his win streak.
Oh, I'm so excited to see this fight, John. I've been looking forward to this one ever since it was announced.
Mark Goddard will need to stay on his toes in there. There's going to be a lot of action from these guys. The Spartan in the white shorts, Notorious in the black trunks.
High guard from McGregor, immediately opening up.
Good hands and knees from Conor McGregor.
Oh, he's captured Steve O'Keefe.
He's caught him with everything, Josh, and O'Keefe has finally managed to close the distance and clinch up.
Yeah, O'Keefe not left with any opportunity. It was either get out or get in, and in the face of that striking, really did the only thing he could and closed the distance.
Spartan-like noises echo round the HMV Forum as Steve O'Keefe puts pressure against the fence and Conor McGregor.
We saw in Conor McGregor's last bout with Aaron Jahnsen at Cage Warriors Fight Night 2 in Jordan, he does have good takedown defense, and as soon as there is that space, he's going to look to strike. Oh, Steve O'Keefe immediately trying to climb to the back. Conor's going to use the cage to really good effect here and just shake him off.
McGregor looking very calm as O'Keefe looks to take his back.
Yeah. O'Keefe perhaps worried a little in that opening exchange, but settling into his rhythm now.
We saw against Dean Riley that he worked for a head and arm triangle from this position where he twisted it down to the mat. He looks to be going for that again.
Yeah, it's good call, John, immediately trying to get that grip. You can see McGregor's going to have to be very careful not to let his frame fold. And Steve O'Keefe is squeezing for everything he's got. Oh, opting to drop low though immediately. Conor McGregor getting good underhooks into defend, and again the inside elbows coming in.
Becoming very effective this evening.
Oh, and wow, Mark Goddard noticing Steve O'Keefe was...
He was out.
Unconscious from those strikes.
He's just come back round, and Conor McGregor he's celebrating already. Steve doesn't know what has happened. That was a flash knockout. I didn't even see that one.
Wow, Conor McGregor showing, hey, you know what, I only need as much takedown defense as I need to create the space to hit you, and the kind of power that guy can generate is scary for any featherweight in this division.
Here's the opening exchanges, some really nice setups with the knees, getting his hips back out of the way so that Steve couldn't close the distance. Steve covered up very nicely and took a lot on the forearms, and here's the end of the bout. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, nearly 10 unanswered elbows, and that was good night for Steve O'Keefe. Let's hand it over to Joe Martinez, who's going to make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, the official time of the stoppage comes at 1 minute, 33 seconds, round number 1. Your winner by TKO victory, Notorious Conor McGregor.
My name is Conor McGregor. I fight at a Straight Blast gym in Dublin, Ireland, and my record is 10 wins, 2 losses. I'm fighting Englishman Dave Hill, 10-2. I'm fighting for the Cage Warriors featherweight belt.
SBG Ireland's notorious Conor McGregor is an entertaining fighter with an exemplary knockout ratio.
I deserve this shot. No one can deny the knockout. Nobody can. I feel like I'm already there. I feel like this is the MGM Grand. To get the fight at home on such a big show, and the whole MMA scene in Ireland is watching this. So let's do it, man. I feel good. I feel real good. I'm just gonna go out and have fun, and I'm gonna experiment, and that's it. I'm gonna improvise. Whatever happens, happens.
Recognising that this is by far his biggest fight to date, McGregor showed his eagerness to lock horns with his opponent at yesterday's weigh-ins.
I'm ready. I'm ready. Trust me on that. I'm ready. He's gonna know in there that it's another level for him. That's the way I see it. I see he's gonna know pretty early that he's in there with someone that he's not gonna be able to handle.
Dave Hill from Coventry, training under Mark Goddard, 10-2 professional fighter, fighting for the title tonight. Yeah, camp's been spot on. Training with some different guys, mixing it up a lot. Been all over the shop. Managed to get some sparring with Vaughan Lee regularly and the guys at UTC, which has been spot on.
Experienced submission specialist Dave Hill has been building towards a fight of this stature for some time.
I mean, the thing is, the guys he's finished, like, without being disrespectful to him or the guys he's not fought guys who've had that much experience in general. The guys he's fought, he's put it on them. They've not had the experience of someone going at them. And they've wilted, and they have. You can see they give up. In the videos I've seen, they start curling up, and he's hitting them. Of course they could move, but they've just had enough. And fair play. I'm sure because Conor puts the pace on, but I've had the guys put the pace on me before. I'll keep going. I'll keep fighting if he knocks me out, it's the only way he'll stop me. I won't wilt and give up. Throw what you want at me. I'm tough, and I'll keep going. Durability, toughness.
With European experience against legitimate featherweight contenders, Hill seems unnerved by the threat of McGregor, even though he'll be fighting on hostile territory.
Isn't it? I'm sure I'm going to get booed. I'm going to get, a bit of swearing. His mates have been twittering me, things like that, trying to wind me up, get in my head, and it's just all going to be that bit sweeter when I beat him. I'll use it to fuel me. Say it's all just a big pantomime, isn't it? When they're all booing and swearing, I'll just be like, all right, boys, once I stop your lad, then. Cheering and booing then.
And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This next bout scheduled for 5 rounds for the CWFC Featherweight Championship of the World. Making his way to the cage first, from Coventry, England, here is Dave Hill.
First to face the wrath of the Dublin crowd is Dave Hill. He has a record of 10-2-0 and is representing Mark Goddard. He's 25 years of age.
This one got very tasty at the weigh-ins yesterday, and Hill was faced with a terrifying Conor McGregor right up in his face. But that does not seem to have wobbled Hill, who is confident, hungry and excited for this challenge. A graphic designer by day, Hill manages to balance his hectic training schedule around his 9 to 5. For this camp, Hill coach Mark Goddard has set him up a training camp which has had him wrestle with the Olympic team, box with the professional boxers, spar with the UK standouts Ronnie Mann and Vaughan Lee.
Yeah, you can't sleep on Dave Hill. He's got a couple of big wins on his record, the likes of Ash Grimshaw and Dave Lee, and it's worth pointing out that his losses, you can't read too much into them. When he fought Inamaki, he got his nose broken with the first punch and then took him all the way to a decision loss. Dave Hill is no slouch. He's a submission specialist, and that is possibly where Conor McGregor is vulnerable.
Inamaki, it has to be said, is one of the top guys who hasn't been signed by the big show. So, as you rightly said, now I'm led to believe that Hill will force the pace and not let McGregor get started.
Yeah, one thing Dave Hill does exceptionally well is cover distance on his takedowns. Whether he's shooting from the outside or setting them up off his strikes, this guy's double leg and drive through is like no one else in this division. If there's one man that can put Conor McGregor on his back, it very well could be Dave Hill.
With a heart of a lion, here is Dave Hill.
Tonight, fighting out of the red corner, from Dublin, Ireland, here is notorious Conor McGregor!
And his opponent needs no introduction to this crowd. It is Conor Notorious McGregor. He is representing SBG Ireland, has a record of 10-2 and is 28 years of age. Conor tells me he's in perfect shape, and this return to 145 pounds is really working out for him. He's less concerned with Hill's game and has been more focused on trying to improve. An excellent boxer with purple belt level Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and you can see why McGregor is a top contender at featherweight.
Yeah, we always make mention of the fact that we've never seen his ground game. Doesn't mean it doesn't exist, but there's a reason for that. This guy has unbelievably crushing punching power that he throws with unbelievable volume, and his training partners have said to us on many occasions, this guy hits like a middleweight. On top of that, he's got the killer instinct that if he knows his opponent's hurt, he will go in for the finish. He's confident, he's outspoken, he's spent the last 18 months calling out every featherweight under the sun, and tonight it's his chance to back that talk up.
I asked a bit of a difficult question to Conor. Do you think you've really earned the shot at a bona fide world title? And he answered back, yes. How many people do I need to knock out? Even though I might not have been here for very long, I'm back at featherweight, and you will see tonight, I definitely deserve that shot.
And once again, ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the Helix here in Dublin, Ireland. This is the co-main event of the evening, 5-round schedule for the CWFC Featherweight Championship of the World. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist standing 5 feet 8 inches tall. Weighing in officially 144 3/4 pounds, he brings an outstanding record, 10 victories and just 2 defeats. Joining us from Coventry, England, here is Dave Hill! And next is opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. Also a mixed martial artist, he too stands 5 feet 8 inches tall. He also weighed in 144 3/4 pounds and brings an identical professional record, 10 victories, just 2 defeats. He is the fighting pride of Dublin, Ireland, the notorious Conor McGregor! Referee in charge of the action for this match, Neil Hall.
Okay, guys, read through the rules. Listen to one sec. Listen. Read through the rules. Listen to me. Okay, you must take yourself at all times. Follow my commands at all times. Understand? Move it back.
Good luck to Neil Hall refereeing this one.
3 rounds for the featherweight strap. Conor McGregor in the grey, Dave Hill in the white. We're underway. Conor McGregor immediately gesturing, come on.
Oh, Dave Hill immediately in for the shot. Good sprawl from Conor McGregor though. Dave Hill's gonna have to, well, Conor McGregor opts to pull guard here. Dave Hill was in like a lightning bolt. Now looking to pass. Look how well though McGregor's posted and back to his feet.
Teammates at SBG have told me it's okay getting Conor down, but he'll get straight back up, well, which he's just shown.
It's going to be very hard for Dave Hill to keep McGregor on the ground and then work his way to a submission.
UK standout Tom Breeze and Mark Goddard in the corner of Dave Hill as Conor McGregor reverses the submission specialist. Huge adrenaline probably running through the veins of both of these young fighters.
Yeah, as they break here, Conor just stifling him up against the cage. A rare kick from Conor McGregor.
Dave Hill has never been stopped, Josh. And he doesn't believe that Conor McGregor has it to do either.
Well, McGregor is going to be so fired up here, I think you could probably hit him with a truck, and he'd keep coming.
Good head kick from McGregor. Now, good straight right back from Dave Hill.
It was the Ash Grimshaw fight where we really saw Dave Hill striking, turn a corner, but at the same time, this is the realm of Conor McGregor.
Dave Hill lost out to Artem Lobov, who is an SBG fighter.
Dave Hill again in on the shot. Lovely whizzer and sprawl from Conor McGregor. Textbook defense on that single leg.
But this is where Dave Hill wants this fight.
Yeah, immediately working to rubber guard, looking to get really high, tie up the shoulders of Conor McGregor.
Mark Goddard is a student of Braulio Estima, and that has filtered down into Dave Hill's game.
Well, the closed guard game that someone like Braulio brings is exceptional, but looking for the omoplata is Dave Hill as Conor McGregor looks to circle over. He's got a possible triangle from the top here.
He has indeed.
Dave Hill's got to be careful. Still with the shoulder of Conor McGregor locked up, but
still in that position, but he's through it, and it looks like McGregor just wants to beat on Hill.
Yeah, Dave Hill not quite able to restore guard, but it was in the transition, in the attempted mount, that Conor McGregor was caught and moved back to half guard.
So Conor McGregor in Dave Hill's half guard.
Dave Hill knew he was going to have to weather an exceptional storm coming from Conor, and he's done so thus far, but some huge ground and pound from the Dublin man.
And it is an answer to the SBG chants from the crowd. Dave Hill gets back to his feet and drives Conor McGregor up against the fence. He is so tough, this Brit.
Yeah, Dave Hill is showing that you can put him in a bad position, but in the scramble, he knows exactly where he needs to go. Conor McGregor starting with the gamesmanship, though.
And McGregor's got to be careful. Dave Hill is meant to be forcing the action. They were the words that I got from Mark Goddard. He knows that if Conor McGregor comes forward, and look at this, that head kick, look at the rigidity of the chin for Dave Hill.
The shots to the top of the kneecap. Mark Goddard on his feet in the corner of Dave Hill.
Going to the body as well.
Oh, huge head kick.
Big head kick as Dave Hill looks to shoot.
Oh, Dave Hill has recovered so quickly. Immediately scrambled back with that underhook and back to his feet. I can see why he's never been stopped in his career yet.
Tough as nails. It's the fearless and elements fighter. And he's showing that he has all the elements this evening as he fights for this title. Scheduled for 5 rounds.
Oh, lovely jumping switch knee from Conor McGregor. The variation started to come out, the confidence in his strikes.
Big connection from Conor McGregor. Dave Hill stumbling.
Yeah, still firing back with shots of his own though. In on the single leg, these little elbows are what Conor McGregor used to put Steve O'Keefe away. He's so dangerous with them.
And Conor McGregor has used that cage to good effect.
Oh, Dave Hill scrambling, McGregor moving to the back. Is this going to be his first ever submission victory?
Well, he's getting it inside. It's very difficult for us to see how tight it is from our position.
Last few seconds here. Oh my God.
Dave Hill sees a second round. Deep water for him there. What an encounter. Mark Goddard furious with the referee, and I think it's something to do with Conor McGregor holding on to the fence. But anyway, back to the action. Conor McGregor coming forward with punches, and there.
The head kicks he started
Shin
landing.
to jaw. Look at the power in that. How did Hill keep the clarity of mind to fight back?
McGregor's seen that every time Hill comes with that big overhand right, he drops his guard first, and he's making him pay. Bit of the groundwork from Conor McGregor here. I really thought we might see him take home that rear naked choke for a moment, but Dave Hill staying in this with every ounce of heart he's got.
Conor McGregor looking very impressive here tonight, showing us all of his credentials. Take a breath, because we are set for our next round.
I'm not sure I can take much more of this, John. This is edge of your seat stuff.
Round two, the fast hands and vocabulary of shots coming from Conor McGregor as he's looking for the finish. There's songs ringing about this auditorium here in Dublin.
Phenomenally tight mount here for Conor McGregor as he crosses his feet underneath Dave Hill and really sinks his hips low, pinning the man from commentary to the floor.
We've seen some real development from Conor McGregor from that time he stepped out in Cork and was beaten by Joseph Duffy. He's come on leaps and bounds, and he's showing us what he's made of this evening.
He made a radio appearance in the run-up to this fight, and the guys sent us a message saying you've got a real star in the making on your hands, and he's showing why right now.
Conor McGregor knows he's going to the top. He doesn't think or hope, he knows. And with these kind of performances, I believe him.
It's something you can say for just obscene confidence. I mean, this guy is a dynamo. He knows he can back up any kind of talk, and you know, he gets inside the heads of his opponents from the very moment that contract's signed.
But let's not get ahead of ourselves, Josh, because Dave Hill is still here. This is his territory. I would have thought he'd need to make something stick early on.
Yeah,
it is only round two.
Rubber guard for Dave Hill, but Conor McGregor slipping out as Dave tries to get some sort of omoplata off this, but perhaps just a tad too slippery at the moment. He's still hanging on, immediately turns back in and scrambles.
Very nice top control from Conor McGregor, answering those critics who may have questioned his ground fighting credentials.
Yeah, they haven't really got anything to say much longer. He's holding his own here on the ground, and he's really showing that the type of ground game he's got integrates so well with those vicious striking offense.
Good mobile hips from Dave Hill as he tries to use that underhook and get his hips out.
Yeah, nice frame from Conor McGregor with the whizzer and the forearm on the face of Dave Hill to just put him back on the floor. Doesn't want to extend his arms too much here, though.
Conor McGregor looks fresh as a daisy as he throws with some real venom.
Dave Hill again back in on the single, but Conor McGregor just stepping out of it, pinning the head.
Dave Hill making a really good account of himself. But for me, Conor McGregor is in the ascendancy, chalking up points and doing a lot of damage as we get deeper into this championship fight.
You've got to start wondering how much longer can Dave Hill hustle on these scrambles and these recoveries, because every time he's bearing the weight of Conor McGregor, he's still very much in this fight, and he's pulling some fantastic escapes and recoveries out of the bag here. But the top position is all Conor McGregor right now.
This is Dave's kind of fight. He does fight this way. He's often in danger, but pulls things out. In the fight against Dave Lee, he was in a very uncomfortable position and pulled out a submission win.
Looking for a guillotine with one arm was Conor McGregor. He can afford to take his time here, and Bayside is walking up for a head and arm choke now, though. You can see him just take those fingers inch by inch up the mat as he tries to isolate the right arm of Dave Hill. Really good deep grip around the head as well, but opting to go back for the strikes.
Good maturity shown by Conor McGregor, not rushing anything, and you would forgive him for that with the kind of support that he has here.
Again, looking for the rear naked choke. He's got good inside wrist control with that other hand.
Looking to isolate and trap that arm. Dave Hill was wise to it as we get set for a minute left in this round.
He's got the body triangle now, and look at the extension he's getting on his hips as he arches in to the back of Dave Hill.
Dave Hill has never been submitted.
It's a lot of
never
pressure.
Been stopped. There it is. It is all over. Notorious Conor McGregor is victorious here in Cage Warriors. He wins the featherweight belt.
I have never seen anything like
some
this.
Extreme scenes here in Dublin as we are showered with celebratory beers and lagers as Conor McGregor joins his following.
He's jumped the cage onto our commentary desk and into the crowd.
What can I say?
Wow.
A fantastic performance from Conor McGregor, who steals the title in a beautiful way, submitting. That's right, ladies and gentlemen.
My God.
Submitting Dave Hill to earn himself championship gold. Unbelievable scenes here in Dublin. Still the crowd are chanting and cheering. Conor McGregor is showing his conditioning, giving us, I lost count. It's time to hand this over to Joe Martinez, who will announce our new featherweight champion.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes, 4 minutes, 10 seconds. Round number 2, submission by rear naked choke. Your winner declared, he is now the first Irish-born fighter in MMA history to win a world title in his hometown of Dublin, Ireland. The new featherweight champion of the world, the notorious Conor
And the last fight was for the belt in Dublin.
Big connection from Conor McGregor.
Well, I was more eager to get in there, and I was feeding off the crowd and all the people back from Dublin get behind me. It's good to have that support, yeah.
Oh, good 1, 2.
My name is Buchinger. I am from Slovakia. My team is Octagon Fighting Bratislava. My specialty is wrestling jiu-jitsu.
I definitely see a twin on this shoulder. And then who knows, you know what I mean? Just going to keep positive and, you know what I mean? Sky's the limit.
My opponent is a very good fighter, stand-up box on the good offensive in ground.
You know, he's 21 wins, 3 losses, he's experienced. I don't know much else, I've watched a little bit.
I am happy for the chance, for this belt.
Well, I think he'll give me a few exchanges. I think I'll have him hurt by the end of the first, and I think I'll have him out there second round.
I think I win by submission.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived to the main event of the evening. 5 scheduled rounds for the vacant CWFC Lightweight Championship of the World. And now making his way to the cage first, fighting out of the blue corner, from Slovakia, Ivan Buchinger!
So here is our first challenger to the vacant lightweight title. It is Ivan Buchinger from Slovakia and representing the Octagon Fighting Academy. He comes with a very impressive 21-3 record. He's a very well-rounded fighter with a black belt in karate and Greco-Roman wrestling credentials, which have helped him earn 12 submission victories and 6 TKOs. He went the distance with UFC fighter Anton Kuivainen. He took a year away from competition and is back with a 3-0 record with 1 TKO against the very rated Diego Gonzalez at Cage Warriors. 2 of those 3 losses that he's suffered in his career have been to UFC vets, so no shame there at all. Spent some time training at ATT, but he's a very popular guy in his home territories, Josh. and a very legitimate contender for the title.
I mean, this guy's a monster. There's no other way around it. He's got almost twice as many wins as our current featherweight champion, Conor McGregor, who he faces tonight. This guy's European background is incredibly extensive. He's been in the top 10 in Europe for such a long time and really on the cusp of the big show for such a long time. He's on a 3-fight win streak. 12 of his 21 wins are by submission. You know what? People forget that. His last fight out, of course, he TKO'd Diego Gonzalez, got nominated for Cage Warriors Knockout of the Year. People forget this guy's a wrestler with incredibly good submissions. Most of those are chokes. How they work on someone like Conor McGregor, though, who knows? It's a whole different ball game. But you know, this Dublin crowd are certainly not making him feel very welcome.
No, we saw nothing but the striking when he was last on Cage Warriors, but I reckon Buchinger will look to his wrestling skills against the dangerous knockout artist McGregor. And here is the challenger, Ivan Buchinger.
And next, his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, making his way to the cage. Tonight, he looks to become the first Irishman to hold 2 world MMA titles at the same time. He is Dublin's own Conor McGregor!
And that roar that's ringing around the helix is for the other challenger and our current featherweight champion, Conor McGregor. Add to that notorious Conor McGregor. He is representing SBG and comes with a record of 11-2. He wanted Ivan Masado, the former lightweight champion, which would have mathematically made sense after he defeated Joseph Duffy. He's still hurting from that loss, but it didn't happen. He's got Ivan Buchinger, and I don't think that anything is going to stop McGregor from clinching that belt this evening.
Yeah, God knows what you'd have to do in this arena to put Conor McGregor away. He was a scary fighter before he went and did his latest camp at Milnir in Iceland with the likes of UFC fighter Gunnar Nelson. Now he's come back. This guy is an entirely different animal. He's opened up his striking styles for so many more disciplines. We may even see some of that crazy capoeira he was throwing around in the ring during warm-ups. He's known as a striker, but people always underestimate his submissions and particularly his wrestling. He recently got his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu purple belt from John Kavanagh, competed at the Nogi European Championships at purple belt. So he's in there mixing it with some high-level grapplers. The big question, though, will his power carry over to the lightweight division?
Very good point, Josh. And here is the featherweight champion and the other challenger for the lightweight belt, notorious Conor McGregor.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, live around the world from the Helix here in Dublin, Ireland. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. The main event of the evening. 5 rounds scheduled for the vacant CWFC Lightweight Championship of the World. The 3 judges scoring this bout at cage side: Andy Sledge, Barry Oglesby, and Ben Cartledge. And when the action begins, your referee in charge, Mark Gunner. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the judges are ready, the fighters are ready, the world is ready. Dublin, Ireland, make some noise if you are ready! Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner. Here's a mixed martial artist standing 5 feet 9 inches tall. Weighing in 155 pounds, this bred veteran brings an outstanding professional record consisting of 21 victories and just 3 defeats. Fighting out of Slovakia, here is Ivan Buchinger! And next is opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. Also a mixed martial artist who stands 5 feet 8 inches tall. Weighing in officially 155 pounds. He brings 11 wins and 2 losses into the cage. He is the fighting pride, the native son of Dublin, Ireland. He is the CWFC reigning featherweight champion of the world, the notorious Conor
understand the rules of fighting, remember. You listen to me, keep yourself protected at all times. If I say stop, you stop. If you want to touch gloves, do it now. Let's do this.
Oh, wow, Josh. It really is here. Conor McGregor back on home turf. The cage door is set. Mark Goddard will be officiating this one. Conor McGregor in the blue. Ivan Buchinger in the white.
Oh man, I'm on the edge of the seat for this one. Immediately Conor McGregor pushing forward, wide open. Almost karate-like stance. Front kicks coming in to Buchinger's midsection and immediately opening up.
Conor looking so settled already. And that's that capoeira style of striking that he's been using. He's mixing everything up so nicely, really taking Buchinger by surprise.
Yeah, Buchinger had a lot of time in his last fight here on Cage Warriors to settle into the match. Conor McGregor's given him nothing here. However, has he got this grip on McGregor's neck on the way down? He's certainly trying to climb high.
Well, Buchinger's been looking exceedingly calm over the last couple of days, eerily so. But he's going to need to have everything about him as he takes on a very dangerous Irishman in notorious Conor McGregor.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to have faced guys who want to play that gamesmanship before. You know, 21-3, extremely experienced, been around a very long time, although he's still relatively young, to be fair to him. But, you know, Conor McGregor is trying to take it to another level here in Dublin, but Buchinger very succinctly back to his feet.
Well, Anton Kuivainen couldn't put him away, and he is a huge man with awesome power.
Well, that's it. Buchinger has been stopped once in 24 fights, and that was a freak flash 20-second KO. You know, Conor McGregor's going to have to do something to put him away here. It's not a walk in the park.
Well, he's teeing off on him at the moment. McGregor with the southpaw stance, beckoning on his foe.
Good check from McGregor.
Everything he throws is plus 80%. He's such a gentleman out of the cage, but he's a machine of destruction inside.
Nice combination from Buchinger. Outside,
that strike left was so very well executed. He's got a very good boxing style.
Buchinger throwing a few outside left low kicks, following up with jabs nicely. Wow. Hand speed, I think, is the two words you need to know about there.
Buchinger's legs looks a tad wobbly as McGregor connected. He's chosen to drive himself up against the frame of McGregor.
One of the nice things McGregor said in a few interviews, he said, I'm not going to get him out of there in the first. It's not going to be that easy, but I've got the confidence to think I might get him out of there in the second, which is, you know, sort of a measured sense of confidence, which I rather like.
McGregor's also got a packed hall here in Dublin, right behind him, cheering on every single one of his movements, all of his twitches, in fact.
This first round was always going to be a bit of a stern test. Wow.
That's something that I've never seen before.
Well, that was an incredible kick to the knee, and huge left hook from McGregor as Buchinger surges in.
Buchinger's walking onto the punch. That's what created it. And that left is getting through. It's like a piston spearing through the Dublin air straight onto the chin of Ivan Buchinger, and it's having a home repeatedly. How very tough is Buchinger? McGregor with a huge shot.
Wow.
Buchinger's completely out of it. What a spectacular knockout by Conor McGregor, as we are bombarded with his fans around the commentary position.
Covered in rather a lot of beer as well, John.
Ivan Buchinger is in some real trouble, and Conor McGregor looks almost like a Viking. He's taken some of that Icelandic fury and brought it to the cage. It was a very well put together fight indeed, and I'm looking quite nervous as I stare up at Conor McGregor. Last time I took a knee for my troubles.
What a performance.
Faultless performance by Conor McGregor against a very seasoned opponent, a highly skilled striker and wrestler. McGregor was not troubled for 1 second. While we take a breath, let's get these replays rolling.
Hey, this fucking shit.
That's McGregor with the wrestling, shoots in on the hips, and it's a straight left. Within range, there's an uppercut, the hook, everything is thrown with such power and such crisp technique, and that is a hugely devastating hook shot. He didn't even put the whole of his body into that. He touched the chin and Buchinger went tumbling. Let's throw it to Joe to make it all official.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes 3 minutes, 40 seconds, round number 1. Your winner by KO victory. And now, a 2-division CWFC World Champion, the Notorious